Good day, everybody. Well, this video is about the ongoing issues between Taiwan and China. Just within the last day, uh, there is reports out of China stating that if Taiwan formally declares independence, then a war would then occur. Well, Taiwan has formally declared independence. It is a independent state. It has its own government, its own political parties, it has its own currency, it has its own armed forces, it produces its own military equipment. It will never merge with China. There will never be a peaceful reunification in which Taiwan accepts that it is part of China. There is not uh, uh, two systems. It doesn't exist. It is a fantasy, and it's nothing like Hong Kong. And what occurred in Hong Kong recently, over the last year, has only enforced Taiwan's position that is in fact a independent, fully independent state, completely separate from communist China. I simply do not understand how China believes that at some point it will be able to control Taiwan um, outside the use of military force. It is going to have to go to war to seize control of Taiwan. It's all about possession. And Taiwan, or rather China, probably has as much claim on Taiwan as does the United Kingdom on the United States of America, or the United Kingdom on Ireland, Southern Ireland. It's ridiculous. It's insanity. And with that being said, it clearly looks as if China understands this and is now taking action to eventually launch military action to attempt to reunify Taiwan, as it says, reunify. But I don't really believe it was ever part of China in terms of the China that exists today. The island nation of Taiwan never accepted the communist takeover of China. It simply never did. It was never an election. There was no process where the people consented to become what they are now inside of China. And to think that Taiwan would give up its independence, would go under the tyrannical boot of China, of the People's Liberation Army, of the Communist Party, is insane. And the free world, the peoples of the planet who believe in representative democracies, true democracies, true representative republics would simply not tolerate China's attack on Taiwan, because then who's next? I mean, China can claim that the Philippines are inherently part of China. Vietnam is inherently part of China. It would just never end. The Korean Peninsula is inherently part of China. And again, this is all about the ability to possess. You can claim whatever you want, but if you cannot possess said claim, then it's a moot point. And I don't think China, at least in my lifetime, will take control of Taiwan. I do think Taiwan needs to take more significant steps in its own defense. I think that it really needs to look at creating a penalty for a Chinese attack. And what that means is Taiwan is going to have to be able to attack targets in mainland China and do significant damage. I think Taiwan is going to have to develop the capability to strike Shanghai. Well, they do have the ability to strike Shanghai, but probably not in the scope that is needed. It is going to need the ability to possibly even threaten Beijing. And with precision strikes. And that would ensure possibly its long-term freedom. But right now, with some of the military activity that is taking place in the area, it looks like China is possibly gearing up for something. It could be a grab of localized islands along the closer to China proper, such as Kinmen. So this island here is actually part of Taiwan. So this would be something that China would need to seize, and if this island were attacked, the media would probably have a field day with it, but not understanding that maybe this wasn't attacked, but this was attacked. And then obviously they would also have to seize this area as well. This is also controlled by Taiwan, and you can see there is assets all over this small island, and any invasion that would take place from China would have to first negate many of the anti-ship systems that are located on this island as well. So again, it's kind of an interesting time right now. A lot of the activity that China conducted in terms of the aircraft that encroached the what they call the medium line, which is basically if you draw a line right down the Straits of Taiwan, and that basically that is it. Now the encroachment came in the south, where they went down here and apparently crossed over into this area right here. I'm not sure they want to do it in this area, because you know, if the trigger is pulled, you know, Taiwan is going to launch its air defense missiles and could probably hit targets out to this area. So much safer for Chinese aircraft to operate way down here instead of in this area, so to speak. But we'll keep watching what's going on, and it could get interesting.